This is driving me insane. Smart people, the ones who research everything, make pros and cons lists, consult experts, somehow their perfect decisions still explode 6 months later. What are they missing?
What if they're not missing information? What if they're asking the wrong questions entirely?
Wrong questions, but they're asking all the...
They ask, what's the best option? When billionaires and chess masters ask two completely different questions first.
Wait, they think backward and forward
At the same time. And once you see why this works, you'll never make decisions the old way again. Charlie Munger, Buffett's partner, probably the sharpest decision maker alive, said something that, honestly, took me years to really understand. It's remarkable how much long-term advantage people like us have gotten by trying to be consistently not stupid, instead of trying to be very intelligent.
So, avoiding dumb beats being brilliant?
Think about your worst decisions. How many came from trying to be clever versus just not paying attention to obvious red flags?
Oh no. Basically all of them.
Right? But here's what I missed for so long. Avoiding stupidity is just the foundation. The magic happens when you add the second part.
The consequences of the consequences.
While everyone else is playing checkers, one move, immediate result, great decision makers are playing chess. They see the whole cascade.
But how is that different from overthinking? Because I definitely do that.
That's what I used to think too. But there's a huge difference between anxious overthinking and strategic thinking. Let me show you why.
The two-part framework. 1. The inversion advantage.
Your brain has this built-in flaw called optimism bias. When you're excited about an opportunity, your threat detection systems literally dim.
So I'm neurologically programmed to ignore red flags when I'm enthusiastic.
Exactly. But inversion is like a manual override. When you force yourself to ask, how could this fail? And I mean really pause and ask it, you reactivate those threat circuits.
It's like having a pessimistic friend who actually wants you to succeed.
That's perfect. Your internal pessimist becomes your defensive coordinator.
But doesn't focusing on failure make you paralyzed? Too scared to act?
Here's the thing, and I misunderstood this for years. Jeff Bezos used inversion to make the biggest decision of his life. I always thought he was just a brilliant risk-taker who got lucky.
He wasn't?
Not in the way people think. When deciding whether to leave his Wall Street job to start Amazon, he didn't ask, how do I guarantee success?
Wait, what did he ask?
What would I regret most when I'm 80? And the answer wasn't losing money or looking foolish.
It was not trying at all.
Exactly. He inverted from what could I gain to what would I regret not attempting. It completely changed the decision.
So he used his brain's fear of regret to overcome his brain's fear of failure?
Now you're getting it. Research shows we're twice as motivated to avoid losses as to achieve gains. Inversion weaponizes that against itself. For any big decision, run these 3 defensive questions.
Defensive. I like that framing.
First, what would guarantee this fails completely?
So for a job choice, instead of just salary and perks, I'd ask what would make me absolutely miserable.
Perfect. Second, what assumptions am I making that could be wrong?
Like assuming my manager will stay, or the culture won't change.
Exactly. Third, what would I regret most if this goes badly?
That's not just about failure. It's about protecting my future self from my current blind spots.
Now you're thinking like an investor instead of a gambler.
Okay, I love that. The defensive part is crystal clear. Avoid guaranteed failures, question assumptions, prevent regret.
Right. And once your defense is solid, you can focus on offense.
Which is where the chess playing comes in?
Exactly. Because avoiding obvious failures is only half the equation.
2. The ripple effect mastery.
All right, I'm protected from disasters. Now what?
Now you start thinking in loops and cycles instead of straight lines. When you make a decision, you affect others. They react. Their reactions create new situations.
Which affect me again. It's not linear, it's an ecosystem.
Most people stop at, this will make me money. Second-order thinkers ask, then what? Who reacts? What changes? What opportunities or problems does that create? Howard Marks calls this second-level thinking. Chess masters don't just see good moves.
They see the opponent's response, their counter, the whole game shifting.
And here's what separates this from overthinking. You're not trying to predict everything perfectly. You're mapping probable scenarios.
So, it's strategic, not perfectionist?
Right. You're understanding the game, not controlling it.
Give me a real example.
Company needs to cut costs. First-order thinking, lay off 20% of staff, save on salaries.
Seems logical.
Second-order thinking asks, what happens to remaining employees' workload?
They're overworked.
What happens to morale, to customer service, to product quality?
Customers get frustrated, leave, revenue drops.
What happens to company reputation, to hiring, to the stock price?
They end up worse than before. They solved the wrong problem and created 5 new ones.
Welcome to second-order thinking.
Wait, so inversion is the detective work, protecting you from what you can't see?
And second-order thinking is the chess master, planning the game ahead.
That's it. You have to be both a detective and a chess master. Defense and offense.
Not just avoiding mistakes, anticipating opportunities others miss completely.
This is why successful people seem lucky. They're not stumbling into good fortune. They're positioned for it because they saw it coming.
While avoiding the landmines everyone else steps on.
Are we overthinking this? Or is this exactly the right amount of thinking?
I think we just used second-order thinking to analyze our own framework.
Meta. I like it.
Here's your new operating system. 2 phases, 6 questions total.
Operating system. Like I'm upgrading my brain software.
Exactly. Phase 1, detective mode. How could this fail spectacularly? What assumptions could be wrong? What would I regret most?
Defense locked in.
Phase 2, chess master mode. And then what happens? How will others react? What changes in 6 months, 2 years?
6 questions that could save me from years of bad decisions.
Let's make it real. Career move?
Detective. What would make me miserable? Wrong assumptions about culture? Regret not negotiating? Chess master. How does this position me next? What skills will I build? What doors open or close?
Investment?
Detective. How do I lose this money? What if I need it sooner? What if the market shifts? Chess master. If this succeeds, then what? New tax situation? Different risk tolerance? Lifestyle inflation?
Relationship decision?
That's harder. Detective. What patterns destroy relationships? Different life goals? Values mismatch? Chess master. How do we grow together? Impact on other relationships? Long-term trajectory alignment?
You're getting scary good at this.
The challenge.
Your mission, if you choose to accept it, is 24 hours of deliberate practice.
Every decision?
Even tiny ones, especially tiny ones. That's where you build the neural pathway.
Netflix choice. Detective asks, what wastes my time? Chess master asks, how do I feel after?
Lunch decision. Detective asks, what makes me crash later? Chess master asks, how does this affect my afternoon?
I'm training my brain to automatically think both ways.
And I'll be honest, I still have to consciously do this. My brain's default is still, that looks good, let's go.
Really? I thought you had this mastered.
Nobody masters it. We just get better at catching ourselves before we make obviously terrible choices.
So this isn't about becoming a strategic genius overnight.
It's about upgrading your defaults, one decision at a time.
Most people play checkers. Reactive, one move at a time.
You're learning chess while wearing detective armor.
I'm never going to forget that image.
Right now, think of a decision you're facing.
Got it. Run the detective questions first. What could go wrong? What are you assuming? What would you regret?
Now the chess master questions. Then what happens? How do others react? What changes downstream?
I guarantee you just saw something you missed before.
And that's just the beginning. Imagine thinking like this for a year.
Your entire life trajectory changes. Not from one big decision, but from thousands of slightly better ones.
So what decision are you going to run through this framework first?
Let us know in the comments. We want to see your detective and chess master in action.
What patterns are you starting to notice already?